Well, slap my ass and call me Sally. That's a quote from this movie. Alright guys, today, Valentine's Day, I went to Beautiful Creatures all alone, obviously. I knew it was kind of like a Twilight-ish type of movie, and I've never seen Twilight, so I was going into this and I was like, ugh, this is going to be terrible. I originally thought it had about almost a 2.5 hour runtime, but it's only 2 hours, but it still feels very, very long. I'll just start with the story. It's a convoluted mess. I couldn't tell what was going on. They're constantly changing the direction of where they're taking it. Characters are constantly changing moods. They're getting hypnotized. Characters are taking the identities of others and acting as them, but it's never clear on when that happened because there's no filling scene to when they were taken over by other characters. It's just a huge mess, and you never truly know what's going on, and it's just all over the place. I was trying my best to follow it. I can follow complicated movies. It's just that I got a little bit of a, lisp going. It's just that this movie was made very, very badly, to put it. Jesus, what is wrong with me today? It wasn't very well constructed and written for the screen, because I think it was based off a book, and yeah, the story, it's just a jumbled up mess, and nothing makes sense. The characters, well, I'll start with the acting. There weren't very many good performances in here, obviously. It's kind of a soapy a soapy fantasy type of movie with a bunch of supernatural powers. Usually that type of shit gets bad acting, and that's not an exception here. I did kind of like the main guy. I think his name was Ethan. I don't know what the actor's name is. He, I thought, did a pretty decent enough job. Everyone else, I thought, kind of sucked. And Thomas Mann, I believe his name is back again. And of course, he's in just another shit movie. I kind of want to see him in a movie where he can legitimately act and have a big role other than Project X, because I don't consider that a movie. But I want to see him in a good movie. But the girl was bad. She had an uncle that was just freaking weird, and he was pretty bad. He was a little bit likable towards the end. Like, he was kind of keeping the thing going. But there's so much random stuff going on in this movie. Like, Ethan, the main kid's housekeeper, knows about all this supernatural stuff. So the girl has supernatural powers. And the thing is, Ethan still is just madly in love with her, but yet she's freaking just telling him to get away, and she can make it rain and snow when she wants to, and he never is really shocked by that. You know what I mean? Maybe it's just bad acting. Maybe he didn't do as great a job as I said, but I mean, it's like he sees that as normal and nothing abnormal about making it snow when she wants it to snow, lightning coming out of nowhere. And there's one scene, and I don't know who does this in real life. This doesn't happen at my school, where two girls just completely ridicule another girl in the middle of class, teacher watching them, teacher telling them to stop. They're making fun of her, calling her all these mean names, and that doesn't happen. And she's, getting stressed out and kind of awkward, and the glass just blows up, and there's glass everywhere, and it stabs into some of the girls, and they're screaming. And then the main guy, and this was pretty early on in the movie, he just gets up and he's like, "Oh man, let's get out of here, alright? Are you okay?" And they never really went anywhere with that whole explosion in the classroom. They mention it, but they never do anything with it. And there's these confusing scenes where one of the, what the hell do they call them? They're like witches. They don't like being called witches, but I'm going to call them witches. The witches, they go into a scene where they talk to another one around a whole crowd of people, but they're kind of in their own world. And it's like the last word that they say, everyone can hear that's in the room. It's hard to explain. And they don't do a good job showing you how the movie is orchestrated. Like, it's really hard to put into words, but it just isn't put together well. And you're confused on what other characters know and don't know. And there's some pretty bad special effects here, too. There's one scene, though, that I thought was pretty exciting. It's really the only exciting scene in the whole movie, where the dinner table spinning around in this house. And the boy was brought there by some cousin of the girl. And I'm running on foam in my mouth right now. And the table is spinning around and they're kind of battling the main girl and her cousin, because the main cousin, or the cousin, is like evil and dark, and she doesn't want to turn dark, the girl, and they're spinning around the table, and they're just, the guys are just eating their food, and then the main guy's just like, what the fuck is going on? And then he gets up from it and he's like, oh, that was completely normal, and I'm still in love with you, and I still want to live with you, and it's so stupid, and the ending, it's so dumb. Like, his friend shoots him. He just shoots his friend. I'm just gonna ruin it. He shoots his friend, and nothing, but then it turns out it's not him. You know, you never know anyone's identity. The movie is a huge mess. The only good thing about it is he was kind of a good actor. I don't even think I can say that's a good thing, because I don't even think he was a good actor. The movie just wasn't terrible. I was entertained by it, and it did feel really dragged out. It was dragging its feet a lot, and it felt very long towards the end, especially. I don't recommend it. I guess if you like Twilight, this might be quite a step down. I've never seen Twilight or any of those movies, but I think I'd rather watch Twilight instead, because those are more fan favorites. I don't know. This movie gets 1 out of 5 stars for me. I'm gonna see Die Hard. I unfortunately saw that it got really bad ratings. Escape from Planet Earth, I'll see that. And, you know, I got Movie Pass today. You know what that is? The little $30 a month, get into unlimited movies, credit card thing. Well, I used that for the first time today because it got here today, and it didn't work very well. I had to call Movie Pass and talk to them for like 20 minutes to get the card working, and a friend of mine, Tyler, he got the card a couple weeks ago, and every time he goes to a movie, he has to call them to have them authorize the card to use there, because the app that they have doesn't function very well, and they really have to work out the bugs on that. But that's just a tip for you, Movie Pass. Anyways, beautiful creatures, pretty damn stupid. Don't check it out unless you like Twilight, I guess. So subscribe, and I'll see you guys in like a day.